I'm Madison. Thanks for watching my channel. Today's video is just going to be all the books that I read thus far this year and on my TBR. So let's jump right into it. So jumping right into it, I kind of I guess split them up into nonfiction, dark academia, is that it? Like romance, but not really romance, and then thrillers. So we'll get right into it. So starting off first is The Song of a Cell. So for those of you who did not know, I majored in biology and I actually got my master's in microbiology and immunology, which this was such a good book. I liked it. If you've never taken a biology class, this is literally every single theory, every single idea, really down to like the nitty gritty of biology in a cell and things like that. With that being said, maybe it might be harder to read if you aren't familiar with like biology in those terms, or even like, I don't even remember learning like in-depth things until my master's degree, and this touches on it. But I still really like the idea, and I like the idea of how he basically talks about like, we don't even know what we need, like the questions that we need to ask, or like we don't even know what we need to know. But it's really cool. It touches about cancer too, about various treatments, and about like how far we've come just from learning from cells and like in the treatments and cancers and things like that. Very interesting. Again, with that being said, it was a bit dry, but I mean, I would expect that from like a science book. So okay, moving on. So I randomly picked up the Alice 6. And obviously I finished it, so then I had to read the Alice Paradox, which I'm glad they both just come out, or this one did. I actually really like the second one better. This one was good. My only complaint about this book, I think I gave it 4 stars, and I think I gave this one 3 stars, only because it was a bit dry, is because they introduce a lot of characters in the beginning, so sometimes it is harder to, I guess, like get in touch with a book whenever you have so many characters introduced at first. And honestly, it was a bit confusing at times. This one was interesting because one of the characters, I don't want to like spoil anything, but she kind of gets trapped somewhere, so like it's a little bit more thrilling. But obviously this book still is not over, so more to come. But yeah, these are really good. Academia, kind of like magic, powers, but also the real world. So definitely y'all should check that out. Lastly, I'm currently reading The Ninth House. I also have Hellbent. It's up there. And look at my poor bookcase. It looks so, it doesn't look like there's a lot of books there because I literally have like 20 books right here. So I like it so far. I'm only 50 pages in, so I cannot say too much, but I would say these two are probably gonna be pretty similar. Okay, moving on to, I guess, what would you even call this one? Maybe this one's contemporary fiction. This one is actually super cute. This is Someone Else's Shoes. I did not really know what to expect, but it's a great story of like, I guess, being a woman, meeting new friends, like joining together, and yeah, just like being there for yourself. And like there was a lot of character development in this book, so I really liked that aspect. And it follows like 2 girls who like accidentally switch shoes to meet up and like end up helping each other in their lives. So super cute. It is 400 pages, so near the end it felt a little stalling, but I think I rated this a 4. The Heart Principle, this is actually a romance. I thought it was super cute. It's a little spicy. I like how it brings up modern day topics. Obviously she does touch on, let me see, is it Asperger's or autism? I need to, Asperger's syndrome. I think it also brings up like the scale of it, so I like that. And also it talks about like some of the struggles of like realizing that, and then also like letting friends and family know, and then maybe they don't really accept it as much. But I really like this. I think I rated it a 3 only because it wasn't the best book, but I did like some of the aspects. And lastly, 3 thrillers that I read. I'll save the best one for last. So this one is You're Invited. I have had this one sitting on my bookshelf for a while. Finally decided to read it. I rated this a 2, so I would not recommend to read this. I like the setup of this book because it goes from the main character, and it's like, it goes back and forth. So it's all leading up to this wedding. So it's like 4 days before a wedding. She talks about something, you meet a new character, and then it's an interview with a character that's being like interrogated because there's a situation. So the police is investigating, or at least the hotel staff. So it was But like with that being said, it was not thrilling. It was really kind of boring. I was just trying to get through it, honestly. But the last 50 pages, like, whoo, that was the thrill aspect. That was like all the twists and turns. So okay, North's here too. Hey North. If the last 50 pages were the whole book, that'd be amazing. So, right, moving on, The House Across the Lake. I love this book. I could not get enough of it. It's very thrilling, lots of twists and turns, but also a feel good at the end. So I highly recommend to read this. Literally, I loved it. And lastly, A Flicker in the Dark. I think I still, I rated this one a 5. Did you like this one? Hey. Very thrilling as well. I did not know, but this actually takes place in Louisiana, actually Baton Rouge and Bow Bridge, which it's in Lafayette, but that's another story. So with that being said, it was honestly a bit cringy because whenever you live in Baton Rouge, like just like talking about LSU and things like that, I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. I feel like it's different whenever you read a fiction book and it's like like if this wasn't based in Louisiana, I would have loved it even more. But with that being said, it was still really good. And like you think you know who did it, but you have no clue. So y'all should definitely read those. Okay, moving on, I want to do what is on my TBR. There's only a few, so the good thing is I have not been to Barnes & Noble in a while, which I should probably keep it that way because I need to join a library and do that instead. But a lot of these books are from like book of the month that I just have not gotten around to reading. So the first one is Instructions for Dancing. Mads gave me this one. I don't feel like I want to read it. I'm just gonna like show y'all. And then Jacqueline in Paris. I think it's cool. I feel like not much to say there. Maid, I think this one's actually a thriller. And I've heard some people really like this. A dead body is one mess she can't clean up on her own. So I'm excited for that one. This one, the Heir, I actually did buy this one. This one I'm excited because I really liked, what was that book? Red, White, and Royal Blue. It's all the way up there. I'm hoping this is like a dupe for it. I'm hoping it's a little spicy and a good romance. Spanish Love Deception. I've heard a lot about this. I just have not gotten around to reading it, honestly. Let me know what you think about that. And then lastly, The Body Keeps Score. I love a good psychology book and I love bettering my health and understanding everything better. So those are on my TBR. But I'm currently reading Ninth House and then Hellbent, and then I'll get started on my TBR. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know anything that y'all are reading, and let me know if my TBR, if those are some good books. Thanks.